All rise. The Court of Appeal for the 5th District of the State of Florida is now in session. The Honorable Brian D. Lambert, Chief Judge, presiding. All persons having business before the court draw near, give attention, and you will be heard. And God save the United States of America, the state of Florida, and this honorable court.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 5th DCA. I'd ask you to please remain standing while our clerk of court, Sandra Williams, gives us the invocation.
Thank you, Chief Judge. May we bow our heads? Heavenly Father, we lift up these candidates for admission to you. With their admission to the Florida Bar, they are being given great power today. We ask that with their new power, they retain a spirit of humility and graciousness. For not in every instance will they prevail. And as they have treated others, they may likewise be treated. Help them to build up their stores of compassion and goodwill. Give them the wisdom to understand that not every loss is a loss, and not every win is a win. They must learn from both. Gift them with the endurance necessary to prepare each case fully and present it ably. Grant them discernment so that they can identify and reject half-truths and deception. Allow them to keep their clients' confidences in the face of temptation. Enable them to practice their new profession with integrity. Finally, Lord, help them to find and maintain a balance in their work and professional lives, as no person walks this walk alone. We ask your blessing on these men and women who stand on the brink of their new profession today. These things we pray. Amen.
Well said, Madam Clerk. Please remain standing. Judge Wallace, gentleman right here, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is right behind us, so Mr. Wallace.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. Have a seat, please. That was the hard part. We weren't sure that Judge Wallace was able to do that. So, but anyway, welcome to the ceremonial session of the 5th District Court of Appeal. We're here to celebrate our new admittees to the bar. Typically, our court is more solemn. Today is a day of fun and laughter and congratulations and clapping. So if at any time you think you need to do that, feel free to go right ahead. We encourage it because it's been a difficult road for our candidates here. Difficult getting through law school. Difficult, we understand, a very difficult bar that you've all successfully passed. And over and above all that, the overarching thing that we've all lived through these last 2.5 years is COVID. So you've had a very remarkable process of having to get to where you've gotten right now. And I congratulate you, and the court congratulates you on this, on your accomplishment. We also congratulate the family and the friends who are here, because those inductees, you know, you did not make this alone. This was a process that you needed a lot of support with, and those people who are with you today stood with you and helped you, and they're to be congratulated as well. And I hope you recognize that as we celebrate the rest of this day, you joining our profession. Let me introduce people that are sitting up here. To my right, this is Judge Kerry Vander. He is the most senior judge on our court. To my left, I'm going to go in seniority. To my left is Judge Jay Cohen. You just heard from Judge Rand Wallace. Next to Judge Cohen is Judge John Harris. She asked me to say this. On the far right is Judge Meredith Sasso. And on the far left, and she really didn't want me to say that, is Judge Mary Alice Nardella. We call her Molly. She will be administering the oath to our inductees in just a little bit. So you're embarking upon our profession. Today is an important day for you. Hopefully you will find yourself to having a career that's fulfilling to you, that's interesting to you, that allows you to do good work for yourself, for your clients, and for society. This is a unique profession. It's a privilege to be a member of the profession, and it gives you the opportunity to do good for society, as well as, again, we obviously know you have clients, and you'll swear an oath to be zealous advocates for your client, but it's an important thing to keep in mind that there is a big picture as you're part of our profession. The oath that you will be taking in a few minutes, it's an important thing. Not only is it important because you got to swear to it to get in, but over and above that, there's important things that tell you about what you're about to embark on. You swear to uphold our constitutions, the federal Constitution and the Florida Constitution, but you also swear to do other things. You swear to provide and pledge fairness, integrity, and civility in court, if you're a courtroom litigator, and in your communications. You swear to abstain from offensive personality. You know, we sometimes see the stereotypes of these aggressive lawyers on television, either in shows or in real life sometimes. But keep in mind that that's really, a lot of that's television. You're taking an oath to behave in a certain manner, because at the end of the day, even though you need to carve out your life for you and your family and friends and what have you and your interest, once you become an attorney, you're always going to be an attorney. People, just like they tell us as judges, you're always a judge. You're always being watched. As an attorney, you'll be looked at. You're part of a profession now. So how you act is a reflection on all of us. Your reputation, it becomes your most important thing throughout your career. How you develop that, how that helps you go through life is important. It helps you to deal with your colleagues, it helps your opponents, and at the end of the day, it's basically what you have as you go forward through all this, through all your career. It can take you years to build up, you can lose it in an instant, and it's tough once you've lost your reputation amongst your colleagues and your co-workers and whomever, the judges. It's tough to get that back, and it's difficult for you as you go through your career. So I ask you to, as Judge Nardella administers the oath, keep in mind what she is saying to you, keep in mind what you're swearing to, and even us old judges up here, we go through these ceremonies twice a year. And it's a chance for us to pull out the oath again and to read it and to kind of fully focus us again about what it is that we do and why we're here and why we joined the profession in the first place. You did meet our clerk over there. To our left, let me introduce our present marshal, Charlie Crawford. Mr. Crawford has been a marshal for a lengthy period of time with us, but he will be leaving soon. He will be joining the 6th District Court of Appeal. Our legislature and our governor, the law has been passed so that there is going to be, as of January 1, a 6th District Court of Appeal, and that's going to be headquartered in Lakeland, and some of our judges on our court will be joining that court. So this is kind of a chance for us to all get together collegially one of our last times as a group. So we have that opportunity to share with you as well. Mr. Crawford he will be joining that court to help that court. It's an excellent selection that they've made. Just for reference, Judge Sasso on the left, she will be the Chief Judge of the 6th DCA. I'm sure she will do a stellar job, and she's got good colleagues from our court that will be joining her. Also in our audience, I don't know where he is. There he is, way in the back, We have our new marshal has joined us. Aaron Soltz, he will be joining us at the end of the month. He is presently the second in command at the City of Edgewater Police Department here in Volusia County. So we were pleased that he was able to step away and help and join us for these ceremonies. But that's about enough. Probably you're all chomping at the bit to get sworn in, so why don't I deflect away from my talking. We've heard me talk enough. So at this time, we are going to have the presentation of the successful candidates for admission to the Florida Bar. And I believe there's Mr. Timothy Danninger. He's a member of the Florida Bar. And just a second, I did actually have something to tell you about him. There he is. He was appointed to the Florida Board of Bar Examiners by the Florida Supreme Court in 2020. He has a degree in biology, received a Juris Doctor from Arizona State University. He's admitted to practice in both state and federal courts in Arizona and Florida. He's the immediate past president of the Jacksonville chapter of the Federal Bar Association and is a shareholder with the Gunster, Yoakley, and Stewart law firm in Jacksonville, a very prominent law firm in Jacksonville. So, Mr. Danninger?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're quite welcome, sir.
May it please the Court.
Yes.
Pursuant to the rules of the Supreme Court relating to admissions to the bar, the candidates before you have been rigorously examined by the Florida Board of Bar Examiners that has a knowledge of the law and understanding of standards and ideals of the legal profession. In addition to background that is subjected to a significant characteristics examination and investigation. On behalf of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, I certify that these candidates are fully qualified and each enjoy the enthusiastic recommendation of the board for admission to the Florida Bar. I'd like to read their names now.
Yes, you may, sir.
Mr. Caleb Bryant. I think, is it a tradition here that the candidates
They will come up,
state their law school?
state their law school.
So, Mr. Caleb Bryant.
And if Mr. Bryan, you come on up, we'll get you all situated here to be sworn in.
So,
Law school,
the University of Alabama School of Law.
Ms. Kirsty Jane Carnes.
Florida State University College of Law.
Mr. Darrell L. Krause.
Florida State University College of Law.
Mr. Yanni Dominguez from Florida.
Catholic University of Puerto Rico.
Ms. Amber Nicole Eddy.
University of Florida Levin College of Law.
Ms. Molly Murray Garza.
Thomas Jefferson School of Law.
Ms. Joni Sue Gerland.
I'm sure.
Wayne State University.
Mr. Robert Patrick Hogue.
George Washington University Law School.
Mr. Colin Timothy McCullough.
Santa Clara University School of Law.
Mr. Kenneth Noah Meyer.
Stetson University.
Ms. Valeria Sophia Negron Diaz.
University of Pittsburgh School of Law.
Ms. Dinamarca Naomi Royal.
Georgia State University of America.
Ms. Maggie Lee Sloan.
because they heard I was wrong.
Florida International University College of Law.
Ms. Dana Whitney Tanasaki.
Utah Hamline School of Law.
Mr. Juan Fernando Carrillo.
American University School of Law.
Mr. Joseph B. Webster.
Florida State University College of Law.
Mr. Spencer Colin Whitaker.
Florida A&M College of Law.
Mr. Scott James Lawrence Brooks.
Washington University School of Law.
On behalf of the board, I move that these candidates be presented to the floor body.
Thank you, Counsel. Family and friends, or whoever else is out in the audience. If Judge Nardella is stepping down here to administer the oath, if before she does that, if any of you would like to come up and stand behind us so you can take a picture of your family or friend or whoever is being admitted now, or come on up and do that, and come on up here. You can come up here if you want so you get a good look at them as a group. That's right, I got a bald spot right here. I know. Come on up. You keep coming down if you need some room or.
You're coming down so more people get in.
Okay. Looks like we got everybody up. All right. All right, Judge Nardella, your turn.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida.
I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida.
I will maintain the respect due to courts of justice and judicial officers.
I will maintain the respect due to judicial officers and judicial officers.
I will not counsel or maintain any suit or proceedings
I will not counsel or maintain any suit or proceedings
which shall appear to me to be unjust,
which shall appear to me to be unjust,
nor any defense except such as I believe to be honestly debatable under the law of the land.
nor any defense that I believe to be honestly debatable under the law of the land.
I will employ for the purpose of maintaining the causes confided in me
I will employ for the purpose of maintaining the causes confided in me
such means only as are consistent with truth and honor,
such means only as consistent with truth and honor,
and will never seek to mislead the judge or jury
and will never seek to mislead the judge or jury
by any artifice or false statement of fact or law.
by any artifice or false statement of fact or law.
I will maintain the confidence
I will maintain the confidence
and preserve inviolate the secrets of my clients,
and preserve and violate the secrets of my clients,
and will accept no compensation in connection with their businesses,
and will accept no compensation in connection with their businesses,
except from them or with their knowledge and approval.
except from them or with their knowledge and approval.
To opposing parties and their counsel,
To opposing parties and their counsel,
I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility.
I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility.
Not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications.
Not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications.
I will abstain from all offensive personality.
I will abstain from all offensive personality.
And advance no fact prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness. Unless required by justice of the cause.
Unless required by justice of the cause.
With which I am charged.
With which I am charged.
I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself.
I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself.
The cause of the defenseless or oppressed.
The cause of the defenseless or oppressed.
Or delay anyone's cause for lucre or malice.
Or delay anyone's cause for lucre or malice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, you can all go back and have your seats here. We're going to, one thing while you're all leaving, don't forget your oath of attorney. Make sure you stop by to see our clerk to get everything fully executed so we can get that up to Tallahassee. But that's at the end of the ceremony. So, all right, you can all take your seats. We're going to move on with the program. We have another speaker or two.
Test. About half of them passed. I was having trouble. I've heard it before.
Well, the oath giver for us. Okay. And I actually need a gavel for the first time in 22 and a half years. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue on with our program events here. They shouldn't take it so serious as they have fun and all that. All right, next on our agenda, our program here is we're going to hear from a representative from the Florida Bar. We're going to get an address from Ms. Attorney Catherine Hurst Miller. Ms. Miller is a board-certified specialist in condominium and plan development law. She practices with the law firm of Wright & Casey in New Smyrna Beach. She's a graduate of Vanderbilt University, summa cum laude, and Stetson College of Law cum laude. Ms. Miller has practiced law in Volusia County since 2006, where she's heavily involved in legal and community service activities. She is a past president of the Florida Bar Young Lawyers Division, a past chair of the 7th Circuit Judicial Nominating Commission, past president of the Volusia Flagler Association for Women Lawyers, past chair of the Florida Bar's Annual Convention, and a past chair of the Young Lawyers Division of the Volusia County Bar Association. Currently, she is the president of the Board of Trustees for the Museum of Arts and is a co-chair of the Florida Bar Special Committee on Mentoring New Lawyers. Ms. Miller is married to Volusia County Court Judge Chris Miller. They have one daughter, Elizabeth. Ms. Miller previously participated in this ceremony, being sworn in as a new lawyer back in 2006 and serving as a speaker on behalf of the bar in 2017. So we welcome her back as a speaker for the bar today. Ms. Miller? Yes, ma'am. Give me something.
May it please the court, counsel, and honored guests, on behalf of the Florida Bar, its president, and its board of governors, let me say congratulations to our newest bar members. This ceremony is a celebration of you, of your accomplishments in graduating law school, of passing the bar exam. This ceremony is also a celebration of the families who supported you, the professors who taught you, the friends who studied with you, or perhaps left you alone so that you could study. This ceremony is not only a celebration, it is also a welcome to the profession from judges and attorneys who are excited to have you join us. I'm very excited to have you join the profession, and I'd like to give you 3 tips that I've learned in my 16 years of practice that I think may help you succeed in this profession. Number 1, and it's no surprise because I'm speaking on behalf of the Florida Bar, but please connect with the Florida Bar. Use its resources to the fullest. You will have to take mandatory continuing education classes throughout your career, starting with practicing with professionalism and your basic skills classes in your first 3 years. But there is so much more. You are automatically members of the Florida Bar's Young Lawyers Division, and that division offers opportunities for service and connection with lawyers around the state. You can also join other sections of the Florida Bar, like the appellate practice section. They're in London right now. They took a trip to London, and one of our judges is there with them. The trial lawyers, the business lawyers, or my favorite named section, the real property and trust lawyers section, who call themselves the reptiles, RPTLS, reptiles. They are surprisingly warm-blooded and fun. Even if you do not join a section, the Florida Bar's Legal Fuel Practice Resource Center, they call it Legal Fuel, has all sorts of information and forms for practicing lawyers. If you are starting your own law firm, startmyfloridalawfirm.com is a website with 10 steps that can get you started from really not knowing kind of how you're going to organize your firm to being up and running. In the spring, the Florida Bar will unveil a new statewide mentoring program for lawyers with 3 or fewer years of practice. So I'd encourage you to keep an eye out and take advantage of our first ever statewide mentoring program. So please, again, my first tip is number 1, connect with the Florida Bar. Number 2, and this is something that no one told me when I was first starting out, and maybe because it's obvious, maybe you already know this, but connecting with other lawyers and bar associations will probably not bring in business. It's a slow path to future referrals, maybe. It will help you learn, it will help you network, it will be good for your career and you as a person. But if you are looking for business, join organizations that aren't all lawyers. This could be a Rotary or a Chamber of Commerce or a trade organization. It could be getting involved with your church or your synagogue or your child's sports or your child's school, something that you're passionate about. But be the lawyer in a room full of potential clients who can use your legal advice. So my second tip is to get out there in the business or the nonprofit community, not just the legal community. Number 3, and this is the best tip I ever got about being a lawyer, and this echoes some of what Chief Judge Lambert was saying, is that you are building your reputation every day. Every case, every argument, every interaction is like one brick or block at a time, and if you build it right, you're going to build up a fortress that is very difficult to knock down or damage. This means treating judicial assistants as courteously as you treat the judges. This means being prepared for every single hearing. This means returning every single client phone call. This means not being sloppy in your written work. It means if you're doing something for a bar association, like the Florida Bar that I said to get involved with, or a business organization, like a business organization you may find to be helpful to you, you take that non-paying work as seriously as you do your paying work. It takes effort to build a solid reputation, but a reputation can be attacked. A disgruntled client can complain to others. The media or the online mob may attack you for taking a position. And opposing counsel is likely going to criticize you in court. I remember a couple times as a young lawyer being in court, and my opposing counsel would argue to the judge, well, I've been doing this for 30 years and I've never seen it done this way. They attacked my legal knowledge, the way I was arguing or presenting something, and I was right. And the judges saw that I was doing it right. They saw my research, they saw how I comported myself, they saw that I had a basis for saying what I was saying, and I built up their reputation, and by the way, I won the hearing. You can be the attorney that if someone says something bad about you or criticizes you or asks how many years you've been doing this, those who know you will believe that you are right because you have put in the time and the effort to get it right. There are only a few things that you can control in this profession, but you are absolutely in control of how hard you work, and you are in control of how you build your reputation. So by connecting with the bar, by involving yourself in other professional activities, and by building your reputation one act at a time, I think you will have a great start and have a career that you enjoy for years to come. And the joy and the celebration of this day are just going to be the first of many joyous occasions that you have as a lawyer. Welcome to the profession.
I thank you, counsel, for your good words and wise words to our new members of our bar. One of our traditions that we have in this ceremony is we ask one of the newly admitted attorneys to address you, to speak on behalf of all the new attorneys, and typically we pick somebody who has done very well on the bar. We actually get that information out of the Florida Bar, and so we have invited today an attorney, a new attorney by the name of Samantha Earls. She's going to speak. Ms. Earls recently graduated from Southern Illinois University School of Law in May of this year at the top of her class. During law school, she served on the executive board of her school's law journal and also worked in a civil practice clinic for 3 semesters. She also worked as a research assistant, a teaching assistant, and a tutor all during law school. She has recently been hired by the Public Defender's Office in the 7th Circuit in Putnam County, where she has begun her career as an assistant public defender there, I assume in the world of misdemeanor. But that being said, Ms. Earls, come on up, and podium is yours. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so first of all, I want to say congratulations to all of you for passing the bar exam. What an accomplishment, as I understand, because I just passed as well. So I wanted to talk briefly today about the importance we as lawyers must place not just on the outcomes of our work, but on the manner in which we achieve those outcomes. Think back with me for a moment to your constitutional law class. I really liked constitutional law, but I dreaded getting assigned those cases with multiple concurring opinions. So many different opinions to read, when in the end, isn't the substantive outcome reached by the majority all that really matters? Every now and then I'd ask myself why the justices would take the energy to write long concurring opinions, vehemently disagreeing with the majority as to the why, although they reach the same ultimate conclusion. I believe there's an application that we can take from this practice in our own work as lawyers. As lawyers, we almost always have a certain outcome we're going for in our work. We know what results we want for our clients from the outset. Where we have to make the tough decisions is how we go about producing those results. It is important that we speak up when we disagree with the means used to achieve our clients' goals. I would encourage each of you to boldly concur in the judgment of your peers when you disagree with the methods. Be willing to do things the hard way if that is the right way. Never lull yourself into just going along with a method simply because you agree with the outcome. Always maintain the ethical standards that we're bound by as lawyers, and take some time to set your own personal ethical and moral standards at the beginning of your career. Sandra Day O'Connor is my favorite Supreme Court justice. I'm sure we all read many of her concurring opinions in law school. One reason she was my favorite was that she was always unwilling to just sign off on the majority opinion when she disagreed with the legal reasoning. In vocalizing her disagreement through her concurring opinions, Justice O'Connor actually set out what later became to be the majority law in certain types of the legal field. For example, in Lynch v. Donnelly, her concurrence was later developed into the endorsement test that we all remember from First Amendment class. As we all begin our legal careers, I hope we will take some inspiration from Justice O'Connor and speak out when someone is using methods that go against what we feel is ethical and appropriate, even when the end result would be the same if we stayed silent. To quote Justice O'Connor, because no motivational or inspirational speech would be complete without a quote, she said, "I don't know that there are any shortcuts to doing a good job." Again, let me offer my congratulations to all of you. I know that it means maybe something a little different coming from someone who truly understands the difficulties that you overcame to be here today. So genuinely, congratulations, and I'm impressed by the work you've all done so far to get here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. Okay, we have now come on our program to my closing remarks. First let me just thank the Volusia County Bar Association. You'll find at the end of our program here today, we do have some refreshments and snacks in our law library, and we ask if you're able to, you and your family and friends and whomever, so out in the audience, please come and join us. Let me again remind you to stop over with Sandra Williams, our clerk here, to make sure you get your oaths all taken care of. So, you know, so it's in writing. How about that? We'll say it that way. Let me just share some final remarks here, and kind of following up what some of our speakers have said about one of the most important things you'll learn in your life as your career as an attorney is be willing to work. Don't make it all consuming, but be willing to work. Because it's important, I mean, that sounds kind of, well, isn't that obvious? But what that does is when you're working and your colleagues, your paralegals, the people who are working in your office, when they see you work, they'll work with you. They'll work to make you better about what you're doing. It's important to remember that as you go through life and through your career. Also, be open to opportunity, be open to advice from other people, other lawyers, especially as, you know, when you're trying to learn. You've now graduated from law school and have passed the bar. Now you're going to learn how to be a lawyer. That sounds like that, again, is redundant. Those of you who have already been a lawyer have passed the bar here in Florida, but for those new ones this is the first time you're becoming a, quote, lawyer, it's a different thing about learning to be a lawyer. Be open to advice, be open to listening to other attorneys, and don't be afraid to ask for advice and to take the opportunities when they're given to you. Don't be discouraged about things that happen. You have a long career ahead of you. I mean, next week or two will be my 41st year of being a member of the bar. I don't feel that old, but I look at myself in the mirror and I'm told otherwise, and I'm told otherwise by my wife too. But that being said, you never know where you're going to end. When I started law school in 1978 at the University of Florida, I came down from Michigan. I was all gung-ho, and we were back on the quarter system back there. So each year, so one year you had 3 separate quarters. My first year getting my grades, I was like, wow, this didn't turn out as well as I thought. My second quarter, I thought, well, I'm going to really double my effort. Not sure why, because it ended up about the same. So my third quarter, finishing up my first year, I didn't think it could get worse, and it did. And so at the end of my first year, I'm sure Dean Jewell and any of you from your disorder must have wondered if they sent the wrong Brian Lambert from Michigan to be in law school. So, at that point, I was just happy to get through law school without them. I did get better, but nothing to write home about. My mother would send me articles about too many lawyers. Why are you doing this? Because my family was all electrical engineers. There was no lawyers in my family. I had one job offer coming out, and that was because I was friends with some of the clerks there. I think I was making $14,000 a year back in 1981.
Overpaid.
I was probably overpaid, is right, considering what I brought in. But that said, they stuck with me, and when you talk about opportunities, about 6 years into my practice, one of the best attorneys I've ever known, he was representing a fellow in a triple homicide, and the defendant there had driven to the house, killed his in-laws, and then hunted down his wife and killed her in point blank. I was retained to help in the civil side, the insurance claim and the civil aspect of it, and I figured, well, that's probably going to be, this guy's going to get convicted, so that's going to end my involvement in the case pretty quickly. He was acquitted for reasons of temporary insanity. So my point is I had to get involved in the case, and that lawyer 6 years into my practice, he let me see what he did to prepare for a case. It opened my eyes about how to be a better lawyer. I became a better lawyer because that lawyer took the time to sit with me and show me how he prepared a case. Look for those opportunities in your careers because they're meaningful. That helped me be better as a lawyer. And then when I think Ms. Miller was talking about if you want to build up clientele, don't go talk to other lawyers because they got the best client I ever had, my oldest son was in Little League. I was sitting on some bleachers next to a fella. They were looking for extra coaches. And I don't know if any of you have ever been in Little League before. It is a cutthroat world in Little League. So we volunteered. He and I didn't know each other. We volunteered, and it turned out, even though they're, quote, supposed to be fair in Little League, the teams that we end up with were the worst and the second worst teams in the league. I don't know that it's not directly related to our coaching ability or lack thereof, but the first game when we're playing, we're little 8, 9, 10-year-olds, we lose our first game like 27-4, and it's like, well, this is going to be a tough day. My point being is he and we kind of became the sad sacks of the league, and we got to know each other, and our teams would play each other and see who was the worst team of the league, I guess. He was a claims adjuster that had just come down from Ohio, claims manager just come down from Ohio, and he turned to me one day, he said, "Do you do insurance defense work?" And I, didn't want to turn not really, but I said, well, sure. I've heard of insurance and I've heard of defense, and okay, I can put it together. And so I started, and I was a sole practitioner at the time, which is unheard of for insurance companies to hire sole practitioners. But he trusted me because of the relationship we built in Little League, and that became the best client I ever had up until the time I eventually became a judge back in 2000. But because of that type of reaching out and that type of effort that you made that I never would have expected, that helped me develop a client base and helped me become a better lawyer because I got to try cases, and that kind of acted as a springboard to me to eventually stick my name in the hat to wanting to become a judge. I never thought about being a judge. Sure, there's a lot of people up here who probably wish I never had become a judge. But that being said, that's a different story for another day. But my point being is you don't know where your career is going to take you now. Be open to listening to other people, asking for help, taking advantage of the opportunities, and do good work. Do the best work that you can. Don't ignore your family. Don't ignore your friends. Keep a balance. I was a Little League coach, as I said. I actually did that for a long period of time. You thought after starting out that way I might have stopped, but I actually did that for about 15 years. My daughter was a swimmer. I was a stroke and turn official. I blocked out time to spend time with the family, but continued to work at night, made the effort, and if you ever told me or my mother 41 years ago I'd be sitting as the chief judge of this court, she would be probably incredulous. I would be more so, but here I am. I wish you all the best of luck in your careers and your effort, and I wish you a good life. We will be adjourned. If you want to take pictures with us, some of us will come down here and we'll take pictures if you want. If you want to say, hey, I heard enough of these guys, let's go have something to eat and drink, we'll be over there too. But at this point, again, on behalf of the entire court, I congratulate you. I congratulate your family and friends for how you've gotten here, and we will stand adjourned. Thank you. Oh, one other thing. Judge Sassa will kick me if I don't say this. I don't know who has or doesn't have a job. We on the 5th DCA and the 6th DCA, we are looking to hire staff attorneys because we are having new judges appointed by the governor by the end of the year. So we have pamphlets out there. Our marshals prepared pamphlets as you walk out there. If you are interested in applying, please pick up a pamphlet, look it over, see where you can apply to either our court or Judge Sasso's court. We'd love to hear from you. So there you go. You got a possible job opportunity here. A win-win. Congratulations. All right, where here we go? Right here? Oh, that was great. Thank you. Congratulations. Not really. Congratulations. It was just a reaction. It's just kind of a natural, like, okay,